Shotgun red, I made a name for myself. I can't lie, I'm doing well for my age. My dogs said they're praying on my downfall. Well, they just choose in the casket, now they souls in the grave. I'm a star right.
I want people to understand that there's so much to life, whether you're the CEO or the janitor.
Giving everything you do at 150% will change your mindset and your perception of what you're doing.
Oh, you wanna know me? Well, I'm the man that you knew. Now you know.
Welcome to the Now or Never podcast, all things entrepreneurship, people who just take life and kick it square in the ass with my special guest, my wife, Mrs. Brittney Rexius.
Hey,
that's like you're called. Oh, Jesus, every time. We were having a good discussion before the cameras were working, if you know what Be Kind Rewind means. So if you're in our age group, you know what Be Kind Rewind means, yep. And if you do, pop in the comment section and on either YouTube or whatever form you're listening on, and tell us, because if you know, there was like a definite line. I think if you're under the age of say 32, 33, maybe. Yeah. You probably would have no... Laurel, do you have any idea what Be Kind Rewind means?
No.
You're 20? 22? Yeah, something like 33 might be the cutoff line.
Man, that makes me feel old.
I know. God, we're almost 40. Anyway, so today's topic, and we actually had another podcast set up with another guest of ours, Dom, our business partner, Nick Linger's coach, is coming in from New York, but flights got delayed. And this is a topic her and I wanted to touch on for a while. We've done little bits here and there. On things when we have questions in on different, Keeping It Real posts or Instagram or even YouTube. And it's just kind of prevalent, I think, for right now. There's two different topics we'll talk about today. And one's relationships with people who are self-employed, relationships with entrepreneurs. And obviously us having a marriage, it pretty much surrounded by entrepreneurship. And there's just different things that people need to understand, whether you are the entrepreneur, if you're in a relationship with two entrepreneurs, or if you're the person who's more the standard, not to say standards for their own, with the traditional role with somebody who's in an entrepreneurship relationship. And I just think there's different guidelines that her and I both have learned to work out. Like, you grew up in an entrepreneurship family. So
I was at work with my dad all the time. When it was his weekends, I was working with him. So I got used to the sun up to sundown. I knew that grind. My stepdad owned his own business. I saw that grind. My mom worked a 9 to 5. But her job was really taxing as well. So, I think I just grew up in a household and multiple households that just had that constant grind. And so I grew to appreciate it, but it's not for everybody.
It's not. I got my house. I mostly grew up like my mom and my stepdad was mostly like they had side hustles. Like mom worked part-time in one job, part-time in another. The old man worked full-time in a bank, but the part-time side hustle at the farm, and he had sons, which was free labor. Still wait for that check. I'm just going to put that out there. Hopefully they watch and listen. They're like, I really owe him money for all that work he did. Anyways.
It's called raising you.
Yeah, no shit. But, they had the side hustle. It wasn't really a true entrepreneurship. Like, that was just kind of in my blood since I was young. So for me, it was a thing. Understand, like, the first 3 years, like, it's kind of that do or die time. And that's with any business. You can't buy your way success in business, in my opinion. Like, you can have a lot of finance, a lot of money, but the first 3 years, you're setting the groundwork that it's going to be the moral and ethical code for your company. Yeah. And the only person who can do that is the owner. Mm-hmm. You can have some great staff at the same point in time, like in today's marketplace. It really isn't feasibly economically to hire somebody to go do the whole thing for you. That's just where I don't think absentee ownership doesn't exist in businesses. So it's going to be the guy or gal doing it. Yeah. And hopefully if it's a relationship with two, but we started Iron Heaven in 2017 with Nick Langer, and we'd already had a lot of success. Yeah. In our other businesses, and understand until about 2 months ago, we were working, and so was Nick. 50 or 60, some of those hours a week between the two ownership groups of the gym for the first 3 years of his existence. Now, Nick made decent money, obviously doing his coaching and his stuff, and we made money with Rexius and our other companies, but that's just what it required, because otherwise it would have been shown a massive loss, and like, how much are you willing to lose? And two, like, those first members, those people that you need to have that relationship with, to have that foundation upon which you can build. People who aren't just leaving, coming because they don't know who the owner is. That's what sets us apart in the gym atmosphere in Omaha.
I was going to say, I think seeing an owner there, shaking an owner's hand, is going to make that member, if there is something wrong or if they have a question, it's going to be easier for them to come straight to us versus you have these corporate places that they don't ever see the face behind the name. And so it's easier just to say, okay, I'm done with it.
And they change employees like you and I change socks. It really is. It's nonstop because it's just a job. It's if you pay a cashier, you're going to get a cashier level effort, in my opinion. So so the first time ever, like the Langers and the Rexiuses are not working behind the counter on the daily basis, which is a major change for us, but we've been around. We're still, like this morning, we had to meet 3 new members to sign up off hours. And so the time's still there, but it's not like we're stuck to the desk now. But for the first 3 years, that is the case with almost any entrepreneurship. So in saying that was one for us, it was, and our relationship, our marriage was fine because we knew the grind beforehand. We knew it and we did it together. At the same point in time, because of our age and where our demographic is, our kids bitched a lot. Like, all you guys ever do is work. All you guys ever do is work. And we make sure that we make dedicated time for them to show that, like, this is, it's, I don't want them to grow up the mentality like, oh my God, I've never been an entrepreneur because all they ever do is work. Like, we're trying to share the joy with our kids because I want them to understand, like, it's not work if you love it.
Yeah.
Not that I love the gym, the businesses more than the kids. I don't. I mean, but it's one of those things that it fills me, it enriches me, it feeds my soul, it makes me happy. I'm passing things on, I'm leaving people better than we found them. All the good things that you get from that. But like in the retail business, and this is just in this a little bit different than membership. Like every customer, I have no idea if they're coming back. In a membership business, I get to see them every day, so I can kind of gauge when that's going to be. In a retail business or a service business, like an item business, I should say, merchandising, you don't know. They come back in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 3 weeks. You just don't know. So it's even longer, I think, in a retail business. 3 years can be done, maybe 5. And just my opinion, and because you have more costs, you have all the things that are associated with having a spot and dealing with the economy, and it really is, and it's a discretionary income. 100% discretionary.
I think if you look at it, your small business, if you look at it like a marriage, they say a marriage, the first 3 to 5 years of your marriage is not necessarily the hardest, but it's where you put in the most work because you're getting 2 people together that you're learning new things. Like with the business, you're going into this and you're learning all of the ins and outs of it. It's a lot of work, but you should find happiness and joy in that work, and it should excite you to see, okay, here's where I can go. Just like with our marriage, it gets better over time. It started out amazing and it just keeps getting better because we're like, okay, we can conquer this together, or we can do this together. And so
we also work on it though. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
We work on it. We'll get in that in a minute. We'll get in that in a minute.
Sorry, sidetracking.
Yeah, just skirt.
Be kind, rewind.
But hey, see, you got to know. I guess I know what that means. But it at the same point, like, in your business, like COVID, for instance, right now with everything, we'll get in a little more of that, but whether it be the 2009 market crash, which we survived, Y2Ks, when I started my first business back in 99, 2000, you're finding some businesses go out of business right now because people are finding out now that shit has hit the fan that either they don't have the passion for it anymore, that their family's not on board with what's necessary, that it's showing. And some people are finding out that, that they actually are stronger than they thought they were. It's making them get out of their comfort zone and reinvest in their business. So you're finding some, I just know from some of my franchisees where they had like 3 or 4 employees and sorry, it's just me and my wife, or just me and my husband or my significant other. Now we're running the show, and they're actually finding that their business is getting better because they're able to interact with all their customers and rebuild that base of loyalty. And then you're having other people in other industries I'm seeing right now that are like closing up door, like, yeah, we're just, we don't want to do it again. We don't want to go through the pain and all that, the hardship. We don't love it enough to do that. And that's why some of them are closing. It's not because they don't have the money left. It's they understand, like, okay, I'm not willing to invest again. I've already done this. I'm tired. And there's nothing wrong with either way, but understand, like, some people are finding out, like, hey, this is actually good for us. I was tipping my hat to Miles Gerard and his wife up in
Columbus.
in Columbus because he posted one of his best months ever in June. And I was like, dude, like, what's up? Like, they've made it, and he's been in the store a lot more since all this happened. I know that, and so is she. Because she was a teacher, and then she wasn't. I know that. I watched her social media. I'm not creeping on you guys. I'm not being a stage 5 creeper.
Yes, he is.
Shut it to you. But I just see you guys and hear such great things about what you're doing in the community of Columbus, Nebraska, and posting such success. I'm like, whoa, like, you know, and I think it's because they're around, they're investing, and people are getting to know them a lot more, and that's where you're going to build that loyalty. So when you do bring staff back in, it's like, okay, this is still, you know, this is Miles' shop. This is Emily's shop. This is the great part that, you know, you build that rapport. I've actually seen that with a lot of my franchisees because they've been in, and my managers, some of mine have done better than they ever have because they've been in the shop more. So we had to change the structure. I'm like, hey, we gotta buckle down. Head management, you guys are my foremost priority. You're gonna be in the shop more. We're gonna be in the gyms more, like taking care of cleaning stuff. And we just found that our businesses have thrived because of that, because we've had to put in more time. But it reinstitutes to her and I. We sit back. We go, okay, yeah, we love this. Yeah. Because I told her, I mean, after being stressed out of everything, I'm like, listen, if it's not giving me some serious joy, shit needs to go. And anyway, so but also in that first 3 years, whether it's like right now, either your business went down and you had to buckle down with your significant other in your business, or it blossomed. And some industries did blossom because they happened to be set up in an industry that was meant for, you know, distances and meant for whatever they were social, whatever. And so some had to go to scale. That's also challenging because if you're in a small first 3 year business, as I talk about it, and this happens to everybody. Yeah. Let's say, you know, you're a plumber. You're great at plumbing. You've worked for other people. You want to go on your own. So you start buying your own equipment. You got your own plumbing equipment, and you start getting customers. And you get busy enough. You got to hire 2 employees or whatever. So now, the struggle is like you have to work even more because it's your name, and that employee could totally screw it up. And so then, you know, you're too new, it's too sensitive to make sure that your ass isn't covered. And now you're like trying to make sure enough business that these employees who now depend on you have a check. It's a lot of stress. And so that there's a point in that scale where it's hard in that first 3 years because you're trying to get enough consistency and enough name to keep them busy. Find people you trust enough that that you've spent your last year, 2 or 3 years building, and also then you got to make a decision. When does the scale stop? And that's, for me, something that, I mean, my wife here has helped me learn the last year, as I'm always pro-growth. I'm 100%, you know, put it on red 19 and let it spin. I gamble heavy when it comes to business. I always believe in me. At the same point in time, I also understand that at some point in time, I don't want to do as this much. I want to be able to do things with the podcast, things that I love, but not actually have to physically be everywhere all the time because it's taxing my body after this many years of doing entrepreneurship for 20 years. I've started to take its toll on me. And understanding that, okay, like this is enough. I mean, this is where I'm at. Like if we have more franchises, great. I don't want any more corporate stores. I'm going to sell Sioux City. I'm going to sell Kearney because I need to have a little less time so I can do the bigger picture stuff, which needs my attention. And said like, okay, otherwise the other choice was, okay, let's double down. Let's hire more corporate full-time staff. Let's hire a full-time marketing person, a full-time HR person, a full-time this. And let's say, okay, we need to go open up 7 or 8 or 9 more corporate stores. And it's a gamble because there's no guarantee it's going to work. Which we found out it hasn't worked. I mean, and for me, it's just, and it's a lot of, it comes from, I'm going to say this, like for a lot of people in my position, it comes from a level of greed, in my opinion. Like, well, it's my name, and I'm already doing the bill. I know how to do this better than they do, and I can make a full profit instead of just a royalty, and that's what it comes down to. A lot of people in my business, but I understand that people are the only asset that matters, and that's been the theme for this forever. That the guy behind the counter, if I open a store in Kansas City, the guy behind the counter is the only real thing that's going to make me successful for longer than 6 months. And so it's all about him. I can get the people there, but to be able to create the loyalty relationship is done by that guy. Well, what if that guy leaves? I'm screwed. So let's make that guy an owner. I'll make less money. That's smarter. I'll invest in him as a new business owner, entrepreneur. That makes sense. Norfolk. I've got people ask me this year, why'd you sell Norfolk? That was your second store ever. And Brittney and I, we love Josh and Sarah Come. They're fantastic. They are. I'm pretty sure that it's our fault that they had another baby.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. She's cute as hell. So,
but that's why I'm staying away from Norfolk right now.
yeah, because you'll
I
get
don't
her
see any
baby
babies.
fever. Yeah, but Josh, who worked for me for 3.5, 4 years, known him for a long time. He did the work and he rebuilt it, and he did such a great job. Yeah, we sold him a store for pretty much cost because he reason. He deserves it, but he's the reason it exists.
Yeah,
they can love me all they want, but if I have an asshole in the store, that love goes away real quick.
Yep.
So yeah, let him do it. And now I've got a happy, franchisee and partner and friend for the next 20, 30 years. And that's way more valuable. So that's understand, like, what I'm trying to say is all about putting the scale. You got to decide as a plumber, right now I've got these 2 guys busy and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Now for me to go to a second crew, right, to hire 3 more guys, and how much more business do I need to drudge up consistently to keep all 5 people employed? How much stress is that going to add to me, and how much income? It's the stress to income ratio.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're looking at a graph, okay? Looking at a graph, stress and income. Where does it meet? Where are you happy at? And I've had guys, like, I've helped do this, like, no, honestly, I'm pretty good here. Making a good living, I have a nice house, got the things, the toys I want,
Yeah.
I'm good. Maybe I'm not going to have that 15,000 square foot mansion every kid thinks they're going to have after watching MTV
that's
Cribs.
a lot of cleaning.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you guys don't know what MTV Cribs is, I can't be friends with you either. So anyway, that was so cool back in the day. Anyways, but some people, I think social, and it's funny. I think it's truly auditing yourself.
Yeah.
What am I happy with? What brings me joy? Yeah, and people say money doesn't solve problems. Money does solve a lot of fucking problems. Let's be honest, it does. But it's not going to bring you happiness.
Right.
I mean, it's what's behind it. Like, if your driving force is the only material possessions to show off to other people, then I can't help you.
Yeah.
Find something new to do with your life, or find a cause, find a mission. But it's really auditing yourself. What's really going to make me happy? And like, where am I going to feel? And I think so much with social media and media in general, where people see everyone's got the next car that's $100,000 or a house that's, and like
the next best
I think
thing.
my dad said, this was really great. He goes, yeah, well, those people you see with that nice ass shit, they're broke as hell.
Yeah, they're
a
lot
living
of
check
debt.
to check. They don't have any plan for after 70. They have a lot of debt. I mean, it's 1 week to the next week, because we drove down to Galveston and we saw these nice houses on the beach. I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? And we're like, what the fuck are all these people doing right that we're doing wrong? And then we're like, oh, yeah, 6 kids.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
6 kids.
And to my dad said the same. He goes, all these people are broke. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't want to be broke.
No.
I mean, right now we've taken this time in COVID to pay off a lot of our debts, because I don't like owing people money. And being in debt is indentured servitude of today. Mm-hmm. That keeps you from making that jump, making that leap, because you can't miss the payment for the truck or the house or the credit cards or that furniture you bought at the mart that you thought looked super cool, was going to make you happy, that didn't at 36 months, like 1% interest. Oh yeah, it's like they're giving it away. We say this because we've done all this dumb shit.
Yep.
We've done a lot of dumb shit. And it's just one of those things. And so auditing yourself to know exactly where you're happy. My mentality really is, I want an empire, and not from financial reasons. It really is. Yeah, I want to make good money. I want to be able to do those things, especially us starting over halfway through our 30s. I want to make money someday. But I want to make money for a different reason than most people. I honestly, I want to be I don't want to be a Warren Buffett. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but I want to be in a position when we are 70 years old that we can do big shit for other people.
Yeah.
I saw a thing at a church. This was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was on Twitter, and I hate Twitter. I fucking hate Twitter. You tweet at me, I'm gonna tweet. I don't know, tweet you back. I'm gonna flip you off. I hate Twitter. I think it's such a disgusting cesspool of bullshit. I'm gonna bark back. But I saw this, where this church was planning on building a building. Mm-hmm. And so they had all these parishioners' money and all stuff, and things just working out. So the church decided as a group to go to a local hospital and pay off like 21,000 different people's medical bills. That's the kind of shit I want to do. That kind of crap changes lives.
Yeah.
As a Christian, like for faith-wise, that's going to show people faith more than anything.
Yep.
It's just being good fucking human beings. That's my goal. So if I want to make money, it's for that reason. Like I've told people, laugh all the time, like my house was a nice house. We put a lot of work into it. It was an absolute shithole when we moved in.
Yeah.
I have a lot of work left. And he said, well, you're going to big. I go, and we've told Jordan, unless I won the lottery, I'll die in this house.
Yeah, we're not moving.
Because I don't fucking care. What else? What for?
Yeah.
We barely keep the shit clean as it is. I'm not going to lie to you. Like you come over our house like, oh, it's so clean. We're like, yeah, we had somebody else come help us clean yesterday. We threatened our kids to take away their phones if they didn't like make it look like other people like we actually we are completely filthy pigs. But that's
we are not completely.
We're not completely.
Pigs. We have 6 kids.
We have 6 kids
and 3 dogs.
And 3 dogs.
And you.
And me. What? That's fucking me. But that's understanding where you're auditing yourself, what it means to come to scale. What are you happy with? And this is right now going to transition into the next thing about COVID depression. I'll get into a little bit, but what makes you happy? Like, what is it?
Yeah. And finding that balance. I mean,
everybody thinks like I see this happens when people buy a new car. Mm-hmm. And we're actually looking at buying a car right now, a nanny van or something, just because we have kids with school districts and different school districts and COVID
mind
shit.
you,
like,
he wants to buy like a short bus.
I wanted to buy a short bus because I thought it'd be so fucking cool. And somebody told me no. So, but it'd be, listen, Rexius party bus, what up? I'm telling you, 16 passenger.
Then our kids get in there and
yeah, like, of course, we party so hard that we're in bed by 9 p.m. So it'd only be out during the daylight anyways. Anyway, so that's the point.
Kind rewind.
But, God, what the fuck was I saying to you interrupted me?
Balance?
No, that was not even remotely close to what we were talking about at all. Are you looking about when you're buying a new car? Okay,
yes.
So this is how you really find out what makes you happy. Is like, I did this 2 years ago where I bought this 4-door Jeep Unlimited because I wanted one so bad, but I'm also cheap ass, so I bought one. I paid too much. It was used, and then it was jankety, and I had to get all this shit on it, and had the black rims with a new remote stereo, all that shit on it, and I it was so cool. I can't wait till it's summer, and I totally like, what a piece of shit.
We sold it before
Jeep.
summer.
Sorry, Jeep's never gonna sponsor me on my podcast now, but what a piece of shit ride. Like, oh my God, it was horrible. We rented a brand new one. We went to Arizona like 2 months later. Yeah, just as bad. They are cool. Fucking cool. But I'm like, that joy I got from owning that finally was over within a couple days. Some people might be a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And so if you're going for that short term, endorphin release from buying something new, you got to find something more sustainable. So understand when you're putting to scale, like where your happiness is. If it's in certain things, like have goals.
Yeah.
And that's going to let you know where in your business life where you need to lead. Now understand if you have a spouse that's not an entrepreneur, like I've said this before, you can't take entrepreneur out of somebody's DNA. It's part of my DNA.
Yeah.
It's asking me to cut off my right foot. It's who I am. I cannot go do a straight 9 to 5 for somebody else just to come home and live for the weekends. I think that to me is death. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I understand that some other people need that stability. That's who they are. There has to be a blend in the middle.
Yep.
That's why I've always said start out a lot of your self-employed businesses as a side hustle, as a bonus income until it can sustain your life, plus 10% for incidentals.
Yeah.
You never found a time easier in the planet. And I know COVID and economy and shit, but you'll never find an easier time in human history it is to start your hustling in right now with this cell phone, this fucking device. I have 24/7 access to every person on the planet for fucking free. You can't bitch about the algorithms on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, though we do on occasion because I don't understand them. You can't bitch about the algorithm on something that's free.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to pay for this shit. To have an account is free. To post shit is free. To have people tag you and share it is fucking free. Shut up. It's 24/7, 365 access to human beings to make money. So you've never found an easier time on the planet to make a side hustle than right now.
Yeah.
Regardless of the economy, just find your niche. Yeah, that's just it. Find your niche and put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about when Joel Staley was in here, like the previous episode with the Dads Who Left, one by one, eventually grew his group over 30,000 people.
Yeah.
It just takes time. And so understand but if you have that spouse, if you have that other significant other, that person in your life, if you have kids, you're a single parent. We found this. I had to have dedicated time. And they're just for them. Yeah. So like we came with a thing because we'll end up killing ourselves basically trying to work too much is we have Sundays. We really mostly stick to this. An occasional meeting here and there. We don't work on Sundays.
Yeah. Sundays are family day.
That's for our kids. That's for us. That's for us to be lazy. That's a day we can possibly sleep in if we actually... Well, if our bodies would actually allow us to do so, that's our time. But we also found as a relationship that because I get bombarded with social media so much and so many hundreds of thousands of messages that I need to have date time for my wife. Never stop dating your spouse, your significant other, ever. Yeah. And so for a while before we had a baby, it was Mondays and Thursday nights after 7 p.m. pretty much because most of the shit was shutting down. I wasn't getting bombarded too bad. And the stores could handle me without an hour.
And people would text and mama would come in and
Brittney threatened to cut them. And they're all way more scared of her than they are of me. But it was Mondays, Thursday nights, and then Sundays was for our kids. And that was our thing. We used to have more nights for the kids, but with different age groups and sports and church groups and all that other bullshit. It's almost impossible. So Sundays is their kids' day. We'll take them swimming. We'll go do something. We'll go to the zoo. We'll do these things purposefully. And because an entrepreneur, because our lives aren't our own, you have to schedule that time.
Yeah. You just said like the perfect word, purposefully. I mean, you have to, whatever you do, do it with purpose. And your spouse or your significant other, while you're in an entrepreneurial role, make that person a priority at times and set times. I know it takes the fun out of it if you have to set times, but when you're busy and you're on the grind.
Well, I didn't say you had to schedule your sex. I just said you had to schedule your day. That's what you were getting at. It takes away the spontaneity and all the excitement.
I'm talking about day dates and stuff like that.
You can day sex too. You don't have to schedule it anyways. So just throwing it out there. That's what people are thinking right now. Let's do it. But you have that dedicated time for them.
Yeah.
And at the same point, spouses who are not entrepreneurs or significant others understand that sometimes shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
The only person with that sense of urgency that, holy shit, my life is on the line is the person whose life is actually on the fucking line. And you can never relay that to a spouse who's not involved or a significant other. You cannot relay that to employees either.
Yeah.
As much as I love our employees, I love our managers, they will never have, you'll never have that sense of urgency that the owner is going to have.
Right, because they get a paycheck.
They get a check. They get to clock out and forget about it. The owner doesn't. So understand, I'm giving them purposeful time. It's still in the back of my mind because it is something that I care about.
Yeah.
It's something that it's been my life. It's my passion. It's what I do. And finding that, so understanding, you need to have a certain level of understanding. Are you on your phone? Like, all right. At the same point, purposely, you may say, hey, letting them know, hey, listen, I got to get on this real quick. I'll make it super fast.
Yeah.
And there has to be a certain level of understanding from both directions.
Well, and I think, like, from me, I've been part of the companies and I've worked outside of the companies. So, I mean, I've seen both sides of it. And I think as a spouse on the opposite end of it, there has to be some understanding, but there also has to be major communication.
Yeah.
If there's something that you're missing out on, you need to be open and honest with that, but also understand that, hey, this is the other person's lifeline. This is their passion. Just like I may be passionate about bookkeeping and accounting, you're passionate about...
Who the fuck is passionate about bookkeeping and accounting?
I'm passionate about a 10-key. What can I say?
We had to buy a 10-key calculator that prints off the little receipts. So we had to go back to the 1985 section of Office Depot to find this, and they had to dust it off, and they found it though. But it was cool. It was really, really neat.
I'm educating you.
So, but in saying this, that a lot of times for the other spouse or the other person in the relationship, it's about security. It's financial security. So when I say this for a lot of entrepreneurs anyways, because I mean, fucking COVID, we should have like a horn or something. We used to have a horn on this thing. There we go. You need some savings. Now, it's very hard for entrepreneurs to save money because we see it as an investment opportunity for your personal life and maybe your business too, where you're finding this for definitely our personal life, because us taking out our salaries allows the business to ease up a little bit. Yeah. That we don't want debt. And B, people say 6 months of personal income. I don't fucking know anybody on the planet that can save 6 months of dedicated income for their overhead. That's easily liquidatable. Yeah. I mean, like, what's in the stock market? Well, that's not easily. I mean, it is, but if the economy takes a shit,
it's gone.
It's fun if you somebody loses their job just because they were either bad at it or the company downsized. If the economy hit like it just did and it dropped 6,000 points, that 6 months of income is now worth about 30 days. I know this because I had cruise line stocks. Thank you. The media could
they
stop.
Will go back up.
If the media could just stop being ridiculous and let my cruise line stocks go back, that'd be great. Anyways, I digress. I doubt anyway.
Be kind, rewind.
So for the other person and the family and the kids who maybe don't understand it, who shouldn't need to feel that stress, especially the kids, have a couple months, have 60 days, lock set, low interest, because you're not going to get a lot of interest out of a savings account anywhere. I know people are like, oh, savings account. Yeah, I mean, okay, you're going to make your 0.2%, but have 60 days in there. If you can't get your shit figured out in 60 days, then like here, this last time it took 60 days for the government and checks started rolling. Yeah. And props to the government, which you're very rarely ever going to hear me say ever, but they got checks in most people's hands and businesses' hands within about 60 days or less, which is fucking unheard of. And I can tell you back in 08, 09, that didn't happen, and neither did in 2000. It didn't happen, not even close. So most people just lost their ass. That just never came at all. So props of it. 60 days, maybe 90 if that makes you more comfortable. So everyone in the relationship and the family knows that, hey, if shit hits the fan, so whatever, we're good. This also protects if your business has any seasonality. Like our July for us is the worst month of the year for gyms and for nutrition stores. Second to December.
Yep.
December is second.
Gets through.
And so this way I don't have to worry about stressing on that shit. Or I've noticed that my staff is more at ease because I'm not being like, hey, what the fuck is going on with numbers? It allows me to not put the nickel and dime on them either. So, that was my notes. So, but anyways, like understand that that's the thing. And we've talked about with relationships, as far as this is concerned, with entrepreneurs or not, sometimes that what you may be right. I found this out. I'm right occasionally.
Sometimes.
Very rarely. But she doesn't want to hear the shit from me. She's not going to be able to hear it from me because it's me. Not because I'm an asshole.
No.
Or I gloat. I just smile. So we've literally gone to therapy, and I've suggested to people. People have this inclination against therapy that's weak. That no, it's putting work in.
Yeah.
Would you drive your car for 5 years without taking it in to get a tune-up or get the oil changed? No, that'd be stupid. Why? It'll break down. So will your relationship. I don't care if you're dating. I don't care if you're married, if you're engaged, if you've been married for 20 years, dating for 15, doesn't fucking matter. There's nothing wrong with getting an impartial third opinion.
Yeah.
There's nothing. That's work. You don't go. You don't expect to have a 6-pack abs if you're not going to the gym or in doing the training. You don't expect your car not to blow up if you don't take it in for a tune-up every once in a while. Yeah. You can't expect your relationship just to thrive on its own. The other person to completely understand through osmosis what the fuck you're feeling or what the hell you want out of it. I mean, you have to. And so we've gone.
Yeah.
Several times. It was funny. Our last therapist, I don't know if she watched our show or not. She's really nice.
She is.
But she looked like she was 12, and so we would joke. Because we're like, I could say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
She looks so young, and she was probably just fresh out of school. And we're like, which for us was hard. We're like, how are you going to understand with like 6 kids, blended family, 3 dogs, parents, entrepreneurs? She did really well.
She did very well.
She was very sweet, but we're like, you think she's using this to buy the new outfit for Cheer Squad? Or, like she's still in high school. Like we joked, and if you're watching this, like you give us a discount next time we're in. Anyways, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it all. Put some time into it.
And don't wait to go to therapy or counseling until it's a problem. Yeah. Go to therapy so you don't have a problem.
There's lots of, you can buy book series and do them together.
Yeah, there's different journals. Outlets.
We've tried. We're horrible at it, especially with the baby. I start reading
a book and then I fall asleep.
Especially with the baby in the house now. By the time he goes to bed, I don't want to read a book. I want to either go to bed or have sex. That's it.
True story.
Or sex in bed.
Or even no matter what you do, make sure you can step away from your normal atmosphere.
Yeah.
So you can get outside, because if you talk about it in your house, you're seeing all the other things going on in the house. You're seeing kids, all this other stuff.
Get away.
Get away from the distractions. Go for coffee.
Go for a walk around a lake. Do something and that's the his phone's blowing up, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, the next part is because of that also. It's because of what I call COVID depression. I'm sure somebody else has already coined this, but you're seeing this in relationships and marriages. You're also seeing this in just people in general, not being able to go anywhere. And so I check in. My thing is, number one, check in on your people in your life.
Yeah.
Like if they're home, they're working from home, they haven't been able to leave home, check in on them.
Yeah.
But we all need a checkup every once in a while.
Everybody thinks it's great to work from home for a little while, but this has been an extended period of time.
So just check in on your people you care about.
Yeah.
You think, he's tough as nails, she's tough as nails. Maybe they're not. Maybe that's a facade. Check in on them. There's nothing wrong with that. Check in with your spouse.
Yeah.
If you haven't had that conversation, go for a drive. Go walk around the lake and be like, how are you doing with this? Oh, I'm good. And break through people's shells a little bit.
Yeah.
And I always say like this, find 3 or 4 powerful areas in your life to grow or escape. I mean, right now it's one thing. For me, I threw myself into house stuff. And then after about 3 weeks and 6 sunburns, really, really toasty. I was like, I'm fucking over house shit for a minute. You need to have something else. You can't just, so products, allows me to build something. It puts a value in my home. I like doing it. I could, on my own, I could do it much cheaper. I can make value. Like personal growth. Take a class online. No more some days. Do it today. If one of our managers wanted to study, be a paralegal, good for her. Do it. I mean, you want to finally learn that other language. How many times have I downloaded Babbel or freaking Rosetta Stone? Well, shit. So take 10 minutes every 3 days. Put it into a calendar. Time Tree app should sponsor this podcast.
They should.
Time Tree app. It's free.
It's the best calendar app ever.
We should advertise on there.
We should.
Time Tree app. Time Tree people. We're going to tag you in this shit. It's great. I have multiple calendars. Every business people can join in. You can invite them. It's we've done it for our podcast. Iron Heaven, our kids, their schedules, our personal stuff, our calendar, Rexius Nutrition, VHI, Now or Never Shoots, Iron Heaven, like all of them. And it's great. But you put it in there purposefully. Make a plan. Like, I'll do it on Wednesday. No, fucking put it in your damn calendar. And take that class. There's so many online classes. We were doing shit for free right now just because they're bored.
Free workouts.
That's why you think I'm doing these damn podcasts. If you want to learn to be a business owner, start over at episode 1 and start taking fucking notes.
Yeah.
Message in. There's a lot of us who, some of us who have time. I don't have a lot, but there are a lot of people out there, entrepreneurs, business people who have time. Message. What the fuck you got to lose?
Yeah.
I messaged Gary Vee. I messaged Dennis Wolf, Tony Robbins, just a slew of people. Hey, want to be on my podcast? I'm sure not going to look at it. Fuck, didn't hurt to ask.
Yeah. It's worse you're going to get a no.
So, exactly. That's the worst thing. So, write a book. That's what I'm doing. Every couple of days, about every other week. This sounds bad, but every other week, I have about 30 to 40 minutes on. I actually use an app. And here's another
app plug.
And another app plug that they can sponsor me too. So it's just the Rev Recorder. So like this, Rev. Let me pull it up here. It's called Rev. And so I can it's audio dictation service. So I actually talk to it, while my earpods on, in my car when I'm driving to my Sioux City drop-off, which I get missed this week. And I'll actually go through and I write little notes for myself just to remember. And then I read out loud. Buck a minute. They'll transcribe it to me and send it back to me in a file. So it makes writing a book even easier. Now I can go through and kind of move things around, fix, you ever had to talk to text and had to go and reread. Oh, yeah, I didn't say that. Well, these are dictation, but these people are usually listening to doctors speak and scribble and bullshit, so they can handle my crap. And this is how I'm writing my book. And eventually, I don't get back to it. Great, it's saved. It's audio. It's there forever. I have a digital copy. That's one thing. And here's my last bit of news on a lot of this stuff is if you want to create that positivity in your life. Then the third one is start a YouTube journey. Start a social media thing. It's a workout thing. 19,000 other people are doing at-home workout things on Instagram.
So what, you may be the one person that somebody connects with.
I haven't found one yet that I like, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I haven't. Most of them are doing the same thing. Most of them, it's not my gig, but maybe some other dude gets on them like, hey, I like that guy. I can connect with that person.
Yeah,
it's all about personalities. And 3, stop watching the news and social media for a minute.
Yes.
She saw me this week. I had my breakdown this week, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not infallible. I'm not inhuman. I'm not a fucking superhuman. I just finally told her, I can't handle it anymore. I can't handle any more of the negativity. It's just toxic as shit.
It is.
And I'm not going to get on any sort of political soapbox. If you think the media is there to inform you of positive things, you're out of your fucking mind. They're there to sell. They have to have high ratings. The more dramatic it is, the better their ratings are, the more money they make on advertising. It's just it's really simple. People are attracted to 2 different things: extreme humor, shock and awe. So when we make ads, we try to be either shock and awing or humorous because that's what gets people attention.
Yeah.
With the news, it's real easy to find a lot of bad shit than it is to find a lot of funny shit. And that's just it. And it's just to the point now where I'm like, this and that and all these other people and this different, I'm done. I don't want to watch it. I had a detax. So I literally haven't hardly watched any in the last week. I'll find out what the weather's going on. I'll read a couple headlines, and I didn't know on Facebook, guys. I went through the Facebook news thing, and we see some mom who beat her 5-year-old to death. I'm like, I go, fuck you. It immediately just makes me sad and sickened. And I'm like, I just need a break. Not because I'm not aware of what's going on, because I need to detox from it. I understand how addictive social media can be, your phone can be. Yep. Set that fucker down. You realize my phone hasn't been off silent now in a hot minute because the dinging, all the constant need to be, I can't do it. It was going to give me a fucking stroke. So, check in on your people, find 3 or 4 positive areas to grow or escape. So if you get sick of one, you go to the next.
Yeah.
Go next. Be purposeful about everything, whether it be your marriage, whether it be your finances, whether it be your hobbies. Be purposeful about it. Schedule the time. If you fail to plan to fail. That it's a stupid old adage, but it absolutely is the truth on every single level. When it comes to your mental
forward
health.
On the things. I've been using that so much lately. I've seen so many people talking about failure and a lot of things and failing forward. Never use your failure as a stopping point. Make sure it's sounding board or springboard.
And something new that I've been doing, like with when you're making your notes, like use technology is great. Use the time tree, but also like I hate taking the time to write. This sounds so bad. I do because I am so time conscious. I try to multitask like my wife. I just fail miserably at it. But I talk to text shit. I do this constantly. I'm all digital. There's a lot to be said for writing shit down.
Yeah.
I got this from Seth Feroci when we were out in Pittsburgh. It's the hardworking motherfucker playbook. That's if you guys know what that means. And lots to be said when you take the time to legibly be able to read your own handwriting and write some shit down, and you have to go back to it and see it. My phone, I have so many notes, and the thing about digital layers is like you don't see it like you do in a book.
Yeah.
Like you can put a note in your phone and not ever look at it again. But when I open this book and I go to the first page, there's shit in there that I have to pass every time. And I know that sounds silly, but there's a lot to be said for taking a pen and pad and a book and writing it down. So what I'm going to do over the next week or two is these little books. We're going to get some Rexius Army, Now or Never podcast versions of this made. And I'm probably going to get a couple hundred, if not 1,000 made. And if you're ready to start taking action on your relationship, managing your depression, make sure you're doing that stuff. And this book will help you. We'll do it for free. So why not?
Yeah.
Like when I told you guys, like when I eventually want to make money, well, I'm able to give it away. I don't make a lot of money yet, but but I'll buy 500 to 1,000 of these books, and I'll give them away to anyone else who's willing to take their life in their hands and take positive action on it. I want to be part of that. We want to be part of that. Yeah. So we're going to get I don't know, this one's a lot nicer. Seth Feroci has a lot more money than I do. So it may not be this nice, but it'll look very cool. So
it'll be nice.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for listening. So many of you guys follow the podcast. Last week we had 66,000 views in the last video. Back when the dance came in, at 11,000 from when I was on the Dads Who Live podcast. We've had Meadows was 35, but we've had a lot of views. We had it was 190,000 minutes listened to in less than like 2 weeks. And the funny thing is, only about 10% of you, because yes, YouTube tells me everything. Big Brother's watching and are actually subscribed on YouTube, but you're watching it. And I get some of you guys clicking the link off of social media. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Do me a solid, man. Do us a solid. We do this for free for you guys. It actually cost us money. Actually quite a bit of money. Yeah. Chad better give me a nice Christmas present. You better pay you more, little, right? See? Yeah, she agreed. Sorry, Chad. You got outvoted. But, subscribe. Give it a thumbs up.
Yep.
Follow it. Like it. Share the damn thing. If you're on YouTube, you can share the link to your face. Like, hey, follow this guy. He's got some positive shit to say. This is what we do. This is what our way of paying it forward to everybody. Like, subscribe, share. Follow us on Instagram. Yep. Timothy D. Rexius, Mrs. Brittney Rexius. Follow us we have business pages on Facebook because I ran onto friends. She doesn't actually go on hers ever, but I do. And just help us out. If you're on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, just share the damn thing. Give us a rating. Share it with your friends. Whatever. That's how we grow this message. And the more likes and shares and subscribers we get, the higher our ranking is. And maybe this message today is what that one person needs to change their life. Mm-hmm. We've all had that message that one time that just stuck with us, that made us change our course from destruction to something positive. And I am not egotistical enough to believe that this might be that message. I don't know. That's up to God. But you can have a part of that. And if you can have a part in somebody else's life to make it better just by sharing this, and hopefully that maybe something we said in here just seems to trigger for whatever reason, then it makes all the money that we've spent doing this and all the time we spent doing this worthwhile. So it may help us pay it forward by sharing this. So like, subscribe, and share. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
See you guys.
The story is you are you, and I am me. Just be. I'm a gentleman, now I'm settled in. Even when they said don't let them in, I said guess again. What's the way I walk into a room and everybody stare? Godfather like presence, everybody know I'm here. Stepping right into my office, pouring bourbon on the rocks. Toast to the homies that could never see the light, and the haters that forever see my ghost. What a night.